What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys. So I was just looking at our lava production here, and I was like, okay, how much lava do we have now since we're still not using any of it? And I was like, that's about the same as what we had the last time. Yeah, it turns out we aren't gaining any lava at all. I'm not entirely sure why. So I looked at this crucible right here, and you can see it says rate 0x. We got cobblestone in there, but it has no heat because that says rate 0x, right? So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So let's take a look at the crucible. If we right click on here and we go to the heat sources tab, we can clearly see that uranium block is a heat source at 8x like it was before. So this was working before the update, and I guess after the update this has been broken, which is fine. Looks like we could also use Ulorium or Manulin if we have to switch to another block. But yeah, uranium block from Industrial Craft 2 says 8x, and that's what we've been using, right? So I was like, okay, maybe the update broke the crucible. Let's break that and place that back, and we still have a rate of 0x. So I went to go pick up this uranium block here. So maybe I need to be reset. You can see in my inventory that I collected 2 of them. So I think that's kind of interesting. We now have 2 uranium blocks for mining the 1. Now, it doesn't happen every time. We got 1 that time, and this one we get, there you can clearly see we just got 2 of them, right? So now we have a total of 3. And we can keep doing this over and over again. And we get some additional ones every now and then, but not every time. Yeah, I think this has to do with the ore doubling mechanic that we have. In this mod pack, we have 2 different ways of leveling up, right? We have the inventory skills thing, which I've put in a lot of points. And then if you press L, we also have this mining one here, crafting or combat, by default is mining. This one right here is a skill that I unlocked, prospecting, which gives you a 5% chance of doubling per level. And we have 5 levels in there, so... yeah, anyway, we have a 25% chance of doubling, but it's interesting that it's working on this block, though. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so now we took 1 uranium block, and now we have 7. Not that that's exceptionally useful to us, but I thought I'd point that out. Just kind of interesting that that works like that. Anyway, so we can place the uranium block here, but it still says rate 0x. Yeah, I was going to replace that uranium block with like a torch or something to see if we could get some kind of lava production here. And then I doubled it and I was like, wait a second, what's going on? So let's grab a torch. I'm just kind of curious. Are these things just completely broken? Do we not have any regular torches? We have the stone torch. Does that work? I'm not entirely sure. Probably not. Let's make a regular torch. A regular vanilla torch. And I threw it on the ground. All right, I'm just curious if we can even use these things to make lava or if these things are just broken. Did I grab that? I guess I must have. Okay, where did I put the torch? Did I not craft it? I thought I did. Oh, you know what? I think it fell up here, didn't it? Anyway, so we have 1 torch here, and it still says rate 0x. I don't know. There's something going on with the lava production. These crucibles do not appear to be working, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, they were working, now they aren't. Not like we really need a large amount of lava right now, but I was just kind of curious why, or I guess I was curious what our lava level was, and then I was curious why we weren't gaining any, and then I was going off on like, oh, we can double that ore. Now that makes me wonder though, if we can double uranium, can we double things like diamond blocks? I haven't tried this yet. I have no idea if this works. So we have 8 of them. Let's just go into an area over here. This should be fine. So I'm guessing this probably won't work, but we'll just give it a try. So we have 8. Vein mine these again. 8, yeah. I feel like the reason that works with IC2 is because the uranium block probably shares the same item ID as like the uranium 238, or maybe the uranium ore itself, with just a different metadata value. That's my guess. I haven't even looked at it. But yeah, I expect that probably won't work with anything else from other mods. Maybe maybe it would work with like other mod, but I don't know. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to start looking at getting some other seeds going, things that are a little bit more difficult for us to acquire. Off camera, I have made wood seeds here, so we can always have logs available. And then we have draconium essence in here, so when we get into draconic evolution, which is going to be coming up fairly soon, I think, we'll have plenty of draconium available for us. We have wood production here, and I keep stealing logs, and then we keep running out. Then I have to keep coming over here and grabbing more and putting it back in the system. We have logs over here too, so we have a decent amount, but just kind of like one of those things where I don't want this completely attached to the system and always getting like saplings and apples and sticks and stuff in there. So I'd rather just have a way for us to create logs directly. So I felt like the essence was probably the better way of doing that. And then, yeah, like I said, we're going to be getting into Draconic Evolution here pretty soon, especially since our mob grinder that we have down there, a mob crusher, doesn't seem to be killing wither bosses, and this thing will, and this does require us to have Draconium. Yeah, but we are going to have to get into the Draconic Evolution, like fusion crafting and things like that in order to proceed with this. Another thing I saw in here, where is it? The Draconic Core requires the Empowerer, which I thought was kind of an interesting recipe. We'll have to do the Superium ingots and stuff like that, which, you know, we should be fine getting our essence in the system here. We have 69 Supremium essence, and this is slowly building over time. We're still using the tier 4 seeds, and you can go all the way up to seeds. I think it's tier 6. Yeah, but you need the Insanium essence, which is just a stupid amount of essence to make these. I think it's 4 of the red ones per one of those. So yeah, that's going to be a lot in order for us to upgrade to those. And I don't know if we're ever going to need to, but anyway, we're still letting these things collect at the tier 4 rate with 9 of those seeds. So yeah, I wanted to do something like make ourselves Enderium seeds. So in order to make Enderium seeds, it's a pretty standard recipe. A Supremium, tier 5 crafting seed. I made a recipe for these. And then Enderium ingots. Now I was like, that's not that big of a deal. We'll just get some, you know, Enderium dust and smelt it down and craft these ingots. Well, it turns out it's a little bit more difficult than that. You can't smelt the Enderium blend directly. Like if we look at the uses for this, the only thing we can do is we can put it into an arc furnace and we can smelt it directly. We can put in the induction smelter, but we need hellfire, concentrated hellfire for each one. Or we can uncraft it, I suppose, with a centrifugal separator and get our resident ender and other parts back. But yeah, it seems like the only way to directly smelt it is with the arc furnace. Otherwise, we'll have to go down the rabbit hole again for the concentrated hellfire, which we had to do early on in this series, which isn't the easiest thing, because then we need 8 hellfire dust and a cauldron to make a concentrated hellfire. Hellfire dust is gone by ground netherrack thrown through the hopper thing, and we need the soul urn, I believe, otherwise it spawns a ghast. And yeah, it's just kind of like a whole better with mods rabbit hole. Like we have the stuff when we can do that, but I would rather have things set up where we can permanently make these things if we need to. There's probably other recipes the arc furnace will do for us. So let's look at the engineer's handbook. We will look at the arc furnace. Whoa, that's real tiny. Try again. Yeah, that's a thing I've noticed with this mod pack. Like you right click on the book first time, it's like in the smallest version. You close out, you right click again, then it's like the normal version. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, so we want to get ourselves, I think that's heavy machinery. Yeah, arc furnace right here. So this guy requires a lot of stuff. So 14 steel sheet metal slabs, 27 reinforced blast brick. What does that even cost? Let's take a look. Reinforced blast brick. So this guy, I think we've already made these before for our upgraded blast furnace, right? So each one of those is a blast brick plus a steel plate. How are we doing on the steel situation? We have 1 steel ingot, but we have steel essence because somebody thought ahead to do that. Okay, so steel essence, 8 of those turns into 3, so we should have a couple of stacks, 3 stacks. Looks like we're doing pretty good here on the steel situation. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, very good. We should probably make a recipe. Actually, blank pattern. We should make some more blank patterns too. We should probably make a recipe to make steel, so we have that in the future. So it is 8 steel makes 3 ingots. So now we always have all of the steel available as long as our plants are growing. Oh, did I already have that in here? I guess I must have already had a recipe for that. Okay, well, that's fine. No use in making another one. So now that we have steel done, we should probably look at automating our plate maker over here. So I noticed a compactor. This has been changed too in the newer update. Previously, we had a button right here that we could select between plates or gears, and that button no longer exists. So it's like this compactor can do any recipe you give it, and I assume it's based on the amount of items that go into its inventory. I haven't tried this yet, so let's grab some of the steel. Let's try putting in 1 ingot of steel and see what happens. Then we'll try putting in 4 ingots and see if it just makes a gear. So 1 ingot does nothing. This does have the gear working die in there, so this thing probably will only make gears as long as the augment is in there. Okay, so it's no longer an easy thing. You just click a button here. We have to remove the augment completely in order to make a steel plate. Ah, that's kind of interesting. So we will, in fact, want to make a second one of these machines. It's probably a good time to do that, one specifically for gear making and one specifically for plate making. What level is this? This is a signalum. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, I guess. Let's make ourselves a new, is it a compactor? Is that what it's called? Yeah, all right, so we can make this guy here. So we'll do another one of these guys. We'll do another piston. We are out of oak planks. Tell the system to make like 100 of those. We have plenty of wood in the system to do these things now. Okay, and the machine frame is the iron block going through our resonator, and it appears that we don't have any iron. So let's make 100. Okay, and then we'll turn that into a block and put that into our resonator. This is one of those recipes I almost feel like I should make like a stack of these machine frames just so we always have it available. All right, so there's a new compactor. Very good. So this guy right here, I think we're gonna leave as a plate maker, and then we'll use this one as our gear maker later on. We have to upgrade to the hardened version, I think, in order to put the gear working die in there. So let's see. If we do thermal kit, if I wanted to upgrade that to a hardened kit, oh, we do need bronze, and then we need silver. We should probably just do that, actually. So there's 4 bronze, and there's 4 silver. We'll get the stuff so we can upgrade this thing to the next version. Whoops, what did I just do there? I tossed the augment on the ground. All right, so there is that gear and this gear. Okay, so now we should be able to make the upgrades for this guy to go to the next level. Cool. All right, I'll set this guy down and upgrade it. And we'll put the augment in there. This one. Okay, so we got to figure out where we're going to put this guy. And then once we get the other stuff going, I think we can also make the signalum stuff so we could upgrade it to the same level. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out where this guy's going to go. There's not enough room here unless we remove our energetic infuser, which we might do. There's no real reason to have it sitting right there. Okay, well, let me do a little bit of stuff here. I'm going to run some more applied energistics so we can automate some of this stuff. We set up the basic stuff for that last time for the pulverizer. But yeah, we have a few more machines we should look at. So let me get to that and then we'll be right back, guys. All right, so I made a few more interfaces and I placed them on top of the machines that we're going to automate. We aren't really going to automate the magma crucible and the fluid transposer, at least not at this time. Those are more like a specialization kind of a thing. You want, well, at least I found in the past that it's better to have like 1 magma crucible and 1 fluid transposer for 1 fluid type. So like if we're going to be making something that requires a lot of molten redstone, then we're going to want one of those specifically that the magma crucible is always just making the molten redstone, right? Or resonant ender or whatever. But we have like a pair of those specifically for that one task. So for right now, we're going to leave those unautomated. and we're just running cable across to power these guys over here. So the way you want to set these up is you want to like unset all the different panels. You can do that by shift right clicking, and then you want to set the in out to the top of the thermal expansion machine. So the interface pushes the item into the blue, it does the thing, and then the thermal expansion machine pushes it back into the interface to complete the auto craft. And you also want to make sure this button, auto output enabled, is turned on, which it is by default. Okay, so that's pretty much all you need to do to automate stuff with the thermal expansion machines. So if we wanted to make a pattern for a steel plate, we need to go to the processing pattern, right click one steel ingot here equals a plate, and then we can just go ahead and put it over into this machine's interface right here. So now we should be able to make steel plates. What the heck? A steel plate. If I tell it to make 10 of those, we should make 10 of those. Yeah, very, very simple. I like it. My kind of automation. Now this will go faster eventually when we upgrade to the resonant version, and then we also put one final auxiliary reception coil in here. So yeah, it'll be a lot faster at some point in the future, but for right now, that's the speed that's going to be going, which isn't like that bad. Okay, so we could also set up a recipe for steel gears using the gear working one. We'll probably want to set up recipes for like the gears that go into the upgrades, but for right now, I think that's going to get us going. So we also needed the blast brick itself, right? So that was brick plus nether brick and blaze powder. So what did it cost for, well, I guess I could have just clicked right here. So nether brick. In order for us to get that, we need nether sludge. Is there another way for us to do it? We can pulverize nether brick into 4 nether bricks. Okay, so that's a good way of doing it. We can infuse lava into brick to make nether brick. That's another method. There's the better with mods method. If we had the abyssal crafting, I think we could do this one. Or finally, if we had the extractor from industrial craft 2, that's another method. So pulverizer is the obvious choice here, nether brick. And it looks like we already had quite a few of that. I'm not sure how many we need, so I will just throw half a stack in here. We can always go into the nether and vein mine more nether brick later on should we need more than that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And then as far as actual brick goes, vanilla brick, we don't have a lot. Okay, so how are we doing on the clay situation? Reasonably well. So we're just going to have to smelt that down to get the brick. I did not set this machine appropriately. There we go. And this one's probably not set appropriately either. Yeah, I'm not sure if the induction smelter, this is going to work. Probably will if we tell it 2 inputs equals 1 output. We'll have to play around with that automation at some point in the future if we need a lot of stuff from the induction smelter. But I think that should get us by for right now anyway. Okay, so we should have enough room in here for that. Okay, so now we should be able to do this. Now, I can't remember how many blast brick did it say? 27? 27 reinforced blast brick. How are we doing on the steel plates? We have 11. Okay, so let's make 16 more of those. And then we will make the 27 of these. Awesome. We had exactly enough blaze powder in there. That's very nice. All right, so then we should be able to do this action. Nice. All right, so there's our reinforced blast brick. All right, moving forward. We need heavy engineering block, light engineering block. I feel like some of these things we should be able to automate if we haven't done that already. So a heavy engineering block. This guy right here requires steel mechanical gears. So we can craft it like that, or we can use the auto workbench and save us some resources. Did we ever do steel mechanical component? No. So let's make a recipe to do that. So we're going to need steel plate. We're going to need 2 of these. And then we need a copper ingot, I think. So copper ingot, steel plates. Okay. So we'll just leave that recipe like that. And then we're going to have to throw these into... Actually, no, I guess we can't do that. We have to do it over here for right now. And we don't have the correct blueprint. Blueprint. Do we not even have an extra blueprint over here to make more blueprints? Okay. I might have to steal the blueprint from this thing in order for us to make this recipe. So let's take this for a moment. We'll fly back over here. We'll make it manually so we can set this thing up. Yeah, take that out, take this out, put this in. We will put those guys in here. One mechanical component, do the old switcheroo once again. And then we should be able to put this right here. Steel mechanical component from those guys. The system knows how to make copper and steel plates now. Okay, so now we should be able to put all of this stuff back over here into our auto workbench. Yeah, we already had the one for the iron one, but not the steel one. All right, and then we need to put this guy here. So if I tell the system to make steel mechanical components, let's say 3 of those. Does it start crafting those up? Are we good? I'm waiting. Why is that not working? Did it not put the items in there? 2 steel plates and 1 copper ingot. Okay, let's take a look at this recipe once again. So 2 steel plates plus a copper ingot should make that with the thing in there. And it doesn't appear to be doing that for some reason. Oh, I guess we could have just thrown the components in here automatically and it would have made that instead of going all the way over to the manual table. Crafting components. I'm not understanding why this is not working. I feel like, oh, we have to press the button. Right, we need an auto workbench for each individual one of these things. I was thinking this was going to be able to auto craft all 4 of these items. No, that's right, because we have the other one set over here for this guy, which is one of these 4 items, isn't it? Oh boy. Okay, so we need another one of these auto workbenches set up here in order to do the steel ones. All right, a few moments later, we have another auto workbench set up here specifically for the heavy component here. Yeah, so I put the interface here. We need to put the recipe back in to make the steel mechanical component there. So now we should be able to make ourselves 5 heavy engineering blocks. Let's try this. I haven't tested it yet. We are missing cobblestone. What? Okay, so we need to get a way to automatically have cobblestone provided to the system. We are generating cobblestone over here, but all this cobblestone is being converted into the quadruple stuff. We really don't have any cobblestone available to the system at any given time. I could just put a whole bunch of cobblestone in, just call it a day. Maybe that's what we'll do. Is there a way to make cobblestone out of our magical crop stuff that we already have? Let's take a look real quick. There might be an easy way for us to do this just out of our mystical agriculture stuff. I'm sorry. So no, we need stone essence. We don't have that yet. Okay, so we'll just make this easy. I'll just grab like some compressed stone. We'll just throw it in there for right now. That will be something we'll have to solve later on. Obviously, we'll just need another generator like this going into some kind of a storage drawer attached to our main storage drawer network over there. Okay, so anyway, heavy engineering block, we need to have 5 of these. So 10 steel plates, some pistons. I made a few recipes here, a few patterns to get this all done. And yeah, it looks like we are now, in fact, making ourselves the steel mechanical components. Very, very good. I like it. Automated. If we have to do one more, I'll probably end up moving this metal press. And that might end up going over here, although I feel like this is where our arc furnace is going to go. The arc furnace is kind of a big multi-block. The ceiling's tall enough for it. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I don't know. Anyway, so we got all of that stuff happening over there. And heavy engineering block, we have 6. You make 2 at a time. So there's the 5 that are required plus a 27 reinforced brick. We are making progress here. So we need 10 light engineering block, which we have a recipe set up for already, and I'll just do the thing so we don't have to see that happening. We need 1 redstone engineering. I accidentally made like a full stack of those a little bit ago. Whoops. So let's see. We need 5 steel scaffolding. We have all of this on AutoCraft. Okay, so just 5 of those. Going forward, what else do we need? Blocks of steel, 6 blocks of steel. Do we have enough for 6 blocks of steel? I hope so. I think we do. Looks like we do, so we should be fine here. All right, so we got that done. 8 steel sheet metal. Now that's a thing that we haven't had to do yet. Okay, so steel sheet metal. Another auto craft here. Okay, so 4 steel plates makes 4 steel sheet metal. Do we have steel sheet metal in the system? We don't. Okay, so let's make a pattern for steel plates turning into that. So we'll just make 1 steel plate for now. Okay, we'll clear this recipe and we'll do 4 of those equals a steel sheet metal. Very good. And we can throw this in with our other patterns that we have in the system that I just got done making for all these different components. All right, so I don't remember how much was that. That was 8 steel sheet metal. Okay, so we need 8 of those. Should be a pretty quick craft for that to happen. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, very good. So steel sheet metal once again. Another recipe down. Moving forward, we need 14 steel sheet metal slabs. Okay, so let's see. I believe that would be like this. Okay, so we'll just throw that pattern in the system. And we need 14 steel sheet metal slabs. That's going to require 12 more steel. My goodness, all the steel we are going through today. Well, we made like 3 stacks of steel and we got 40 left. Oh my goodness. All right, so there's the steel sheet metal slabs. It was 14, right? Yes, and then 1 cauldron. Okay, so iron and 1 cauldron. So we have everything together here except for the light engineering blocks. I don't, was it 10 or was it? Yeah, it was 10. Okay, so we have all the components now. This is very good. All right, well, I'm going to take the time here, go through and place all these blocks layer by layer. That's a very not interesting thing to do. So let me get that done and we'll be right back. Oh my goodness, after a long amount of time trying to get this thing together, I placed all the blocks. I just clicked it and we got an advancement here. The hottest topic, form the arc furnace multi-block. Nice, I completed the challenge. Cool, so we got that done. So that's really good. So the arc furnace by itself doesn't really do anything. We need to get electrodes up here in order for us to use this thing. So let's take a look at the electrodes. Are they called electrodes? Graphite? Isn't that what it's called? Maybe, yeah, graphite electrode. Maybe I just spelled it wrong. I don't know. So in order for us to make these things, we have 2 different ways of doing it. We can put 4 HOP graphite to make one in the engineer's workbench, or we can do a metal press version, which gives us one with only 50% durability. I'm not really sure why they do it this way, but that's the thing. So we need another auto workbench setup if we wanted to do it this way to get a full 100%, or we can just craft them manually. I think we're just going to craft them manually. So we're going to need HOP graphite, I think is what it's called. So in order to make the ingot, we need to take dust and smelt that. But in order to get the dust, we need to take 8 coke dust in an industrial squeezer, right? So to get the coke dust, obviously, we need to take coal, coke, and grind it down. So how are we doing on the coal, coke situation? We're doing pretty good. It looked like we could take blocks and grind it, which would probably be the fastest way of us doing this process through the grinder. I guess I didn't need to do all that. All right, so there is 4 of those. So we can just go ahead and throw those guys right into here, if I could aim properly. We'll throw them into here. So that'll get ground down. Nice. Very good. I also went through here and I removed all of the redstone cabling, right? All of the flux ducts. We got rid of those and I just replaced it with the flux points. I feel like we're at a point now in the pack where we can afford these things pretty freely. So it's not really a huge issue for us. But anyway, let's go ahead and throw the coke dust into here. Looks like it's doing multiple at once, which is good. So now we have 4 HOP graphite. Oh, that's right. We are going to need more, some more coke, aren't we? So that was 4 blocks to make one thing. So we're going to need 8 more blocks worth. or so. All right, let's throw that in there. Okay, so we'll grind it up. We'll make more of that stuff. So the HOP graphite, we'll just have to smelt that down. And then I'll just manually craft the arc furnace rods, I think. I really don't see a reason to do this automatically, make a whole new auto workbench for it. Like, I've used the arc furnace before in the past, and it takes a pretty long time for you to go through those rods. But it is a thing that will happen eventually, so it might be something worth looking at. But anyway, so we have all this coke dust. I will put this over here into our squeezer, squeeze it all down into more HOP graphite. Yeah, it's nice that we already had this machine made and the crusher made. Makes our lives a lot easier. Okay, so we will just throw this into, I guess our redstone furnace should work. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we want HOP. Do we already have HOP in the system? I guess we must have already made some of this in the past. All right, so there is 12 of them. And then we need to have the blueprint for that. So what was the blueprint for that? Graphite rod says it can be made here with arc furnace electrodes. Okay, so let's make an arc furnace electrodes thing. So this is press molds, crafting, common projectiles. Wait, how do we make this thing? Metal press mold, crafting is it under crafting components? It says that we can make it using the blueprint, but I'm not seeing a blueprint for that particular thing. There is no other tab. Is that... Oh, blacksmith from a dungeon chest. Ah. Villager trade from the machinist. So if we can go find a villager, I guess we could go trade him. Do we have any villages around here? Now I'm trying to think. You know what? I might go on a little trip, see if I can find a villager. Might bring some emeralds with us so we can buy some things. Yeah, let me go do that real quick, see if we can find that blueprint. We'll be right back. Well, I just went to 2 different villages, and I wasn't able to find the villager that we were looking for. But I did use the mob imprisonment tool, and I was able to capture a villager. So the question is, are we able to spawn these guys in and get the villager that we're looking for? And does the mob crusher kill them? I guess is the other portion of this. So pink slime we will remove, we will replace with a villager. Let's turn this thing on. Yes, it does kill them right away. Okay, so we need to turn this thing off for sure. So let's do active on redstone signal, I guess. Okay, so we want to get ourselves the machinist villager. So we're going to end up with a whole lot of these guys if I'm not careful. Let's just spawn in that many and see if we have one in there. What's this guy right here? Is that who we're looking for? No, that's a sage. We got the shady guys. What are you? Red priest. Okay. Well, that is a lot of villager sounds. Whoops, I don't want to spawn more. I want to kill these guys, get rid of them. And we'll try this again and again. Whoops, sorry. Did I get rid of all of them at once? Oh yeah, okay, so let's try that again. So we're looking for one that's kind of got like that guy, I think, right? No, that's the actually additions guy. I think that's the crystal guy. All right, guys, I think I'm going crazy. There's too many villagers making sounds, but I think we found our guy here, the machinist. I think that's what we were looking for. Let's snatch this guy up, and let's get rid of this. Okay, that's enough. So yes, the machinist. This is taking so long. If we go to the arc furnace electrodes here and we look at the villager trade, you can see that it's like a completely different icon. So I was looking for one of these guys, but these guys never are a machinist. So then I saw that the immersive engineering ones, yeah, they all look the same in this green color. So I've been looking for these guys, and this is the first one I found after, like, I don't know, hundreds of these guys. So let's do the engineer's hammer here. Hopefully we will be able to unlock the trade relatively quickly. So there's steel mechanical component for 1 emerald. That's a pretty good deal, actually. I like that one. All right, looks like you unlocked more. Specialized projectiles. Is it guaranteed that we will get the electrodes one? I really hope so. Did you unlock more after that? Okay, so we have ear deafeners. Okay, we'll continue to unlock that. Can't really tell if it started new particles or not. There it is, arc furnace electrodes. Oh yeah. All right, so we got that. We'll go ahead and capture you once again so we can spawn more villagers in later if we need them for any particular reason. But yeah, now that we have this, we should be able to put that into our engineer's workbench over here with some of our HOP graphite stuff. I think we need, what, 12? Okay, so we'll do that. Replace this with the electrodes. Put those guys in there. There we go. 3 graphite electrodes, integrity 100%. So I was saying earlier, I don't know why that the other one is 50%, this one's 100%. I didn't realize that it was difficult to get these, because every time that I've played with immersive engineering before, the electrode thing, I believe, has been a craftable item. So maybe that's just custom recipes that allow them to be craftable. But now that we have that in there, we should be able to do Enderium, and we need 4 of those in order to make our Enderium seeds. So let's spread those out, and nothing's happening because we don't have power. All right, so we need to get ourselves a flux point. Flux point. One of these guys. You know what? Let's make this easy. I'm just gonna steal this one, and then I will have to get more blaze powder for the other, for that replacement a little bit later, but we'll do that at some other time. So let's just do that. Now we have power. This thing's going. It is making Enderium, and done. Woo! Okay, so now that we have that done, I should be able to make Enderium seeds over here. So let's take a look at that. Enderium seed is a tier 5 crafting seed. So I'll make that, which should be done, and then we will make this. Boom. Okay, so 1 piece of dirt and the Enderium seed, and then we should be able to throw that into our garden cloche over here and have all of the Enderium going forward. So that was kind of a long process to get to this stuff. We could have done a lot faster just by making the Hellfire, I think, but now we have Enderium forever, and we never have to worry about better with mods, and to me, that is a win. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.